Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to Chris is Talking, and this is my weekly anime review for Mob Psycho 100, and this is for episode 9, titled Claw, the 7th Division. And this was another really good episode of Mob Psycho 100. Not as intense with the action, like action heavy as last week's episode, but that is fine because we've been getting so much more from the series, from world building, characterization, and just seeing a lot more of just the traits and how the mindset of Mob and Hanazawa and their friendship and the friendship between Mob, Hanazawa and Dimple, and how Dimple's now added into this, and it's all really cool. I really like it quite a bit. I mean, sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, like, we knew from the beginning that Hanazawa was going to have a quite important role in this series, especially if you watch the opening. I'm an opening person, so when the openings happen, I'm always watching it, trying to figure out what's going to happen throughout the series. Not in a spoiler kind of way, because it's kind of weird to spoil it for yourself if you don't know what's kind of going on, but I think it is kind of cool to just kind of make your guesses as to where the series could be going, especially whilst you're watching it, really. Yeah, so that was pretty much what I do, and from that I kind of noticed that Hanazawa was near the end. Oh, sorry, once again my throat, damn it. Once again, we realized that Hanazawa was near the end of the opening part, and like we saw him fight in episode 3, episode 3 or 4, and I was thinking that's a bit too soon to be showing somebody near the end of the opening way on early. And it's pretty cool to see how close he's become with Mob, and how he respects Mob and understands Mob's mentality. And it's weird because he knows that Mob doesn't have a clue, but from seeing how much pride and how basically how solid Mob is, Hanazawa respects him so much more, especially as he understands, because Mob understands how Hanazawa actually thinks. And from the conclusion of their fight, from then on, it's kind of like Hanazawa thought he was the top dog. He thought the world revolved around him, and Mob was able to show Hanazawa that it doesn't, and that he's pretty much just a nobody. But obviously, to Mob, to everyone else, he's probably still important, but you can tell that Hanazawa's personality has changed a lot for the better, for the greater good, and it's kind of like Hanazawa's a good guy now-ish. So it's pretty cool. I mean, this episode pretty much focuses on Mob, Hanazawa and Dimple infiltrating Claw's division, but before I get to that, first of all, we'll get introduced to a few other members of Claw. So at the end of last week's episode, we got to see Koyama, who was the guy who fucked up Mob. He ran away because Mob was about to just destroy his ass when he was at 100%. Yeah, Koyama, he ends up meeting up with the guy who's speaking to on the phone, which was another like top member of Claw. He had another scar on his face, and he did some psychic fucking esper shit with like his sword, making it flip through the air and whatnot back into the sheath. I was like, god damn, this guy's crazy. So yeah, so we know this guy's pretty powerful, but we haven't seen his fighting style. We just saw a little snippet, a little tease of how he fights, maybe with his sword and his telekinetic abilities. Fucking hell. But yeah, so we saw them two, and them two are speaking, and the other guy with the sword, he's pretty much asking Koyama what happened, who was the person who actually put you through that much of a fight. And then Koyama's like, oh nah, it wasn't this kid here, nah, it was like somebody related to him. And the guy with the sword's like, so where is he? And then Koyama's like, yo man, I had to bounce, like this shit got real. So basically, whilst having this conversation in their building tunnel, whatever it was, in one of the hallways, another one of the top members of Claw, I think his name is Terada. Yeah, I wrote his name down, Terada. Terada is like, looks like some shady kind of guy. He just looks like the shady kind of guy in almost any anime series. So shady, bruh. So yeah, so Terada's like, oh, so he overheard what was going on, and he's like, cool, you know what? Don't worry, I won't tell the big boss. Let me just go deal with it myself. So he goes off to go deal with Mob, because he thinks, well, you know what, if Mob isn't with us, he's going to be a threat, so maybe I should just take him out and maybe get the glory for myself. But when he goes to do that, Mob's not by himself. Mob is with Hanazawa, who is not a punk. Hanazawa was actually really smart, and I really like how we got to see how Hanazawa thinks and how his mindset is, and how he's actually really, really intelligent. He wasn't just a really good fighter. He's really fucking smart. Like he has a clue. Basically, if Mob had his kind of clue, if Mob understood his surroundings and people's mentalities and how people think as much as Hanazawa, Mob would be so more powerful. But Hanazawa, his physical power is hella strong, not as strong as Mob's, but his mental power, like how smart he is and how much he understands things and stuff, like it shows that he's a formidable opponent, and he's definitely the right person to be matched up with Mob, especially because Mob pretty much retarded. But yeah, so was it Terada? He ends up going to Mob and Hanazawa's hideout, which is Hanazawa's house or flat at the moment. And literally, Terada, he was hyped up for like as crazy by Koyama when Koyama was speaking to the other guy with a sword from Claw. And Koyama was like, yeah, this guy, like, he should be able to take out Mob. Mob's only a student. Mob may be overly powerful, but like, Mob doesn't really understand shit. And like, yeah, if Terada goes in with his guard up, he should be able to take out Mob. Cutscene, we get to see that Terada was not expecting much from Mob, and he got his ass handed to him. He just all tied up, having his head fucking dunked in a bucket of water, which must be so fucking emotional. Like, I felt so sorry for him. I was like, you went in there to try and start some shit, and then you get yourself captured. He spills all of the beans, every single one of the beans, to Mob and Hanazawa, so that Hanazawa and Mob can get themselves ready and know all the powers, as well as like where the hideout is and all the secrets, as well as and then some, the etc etc. So literally he gave up everything, every single little fucking detail. So, and he ends up taking them, well, not really taking them, I think is it Mob ends up like hovering a car the whole fucking way. I mean, that's something that you would notice in the air, but yes, Mob ends up hovering a car to the location of Claw's 7th division, which was obviously the location was given to them by Terada, you know, good old guy. good old company guy right there. So yeah, they end up going there, they crash, Terada disappears, and then he ends up thinking, you know what, now I'm in my zone, which is like we get to see Terada's ability, which is psychic whips, which is fairly fucking interesting. It's kind of like, okay, cool. I was kind of thinking throughout the series, how are we going to be seeing so many different psychic abilities? And then so we got to see some psychic whips, and Terada actually goes in for a while. He manages to lift up several trees and smashes it at Hanazawa. Hanazawa does his like telekinetic jumping, teleporting thing, like off of walls and whatnot, and then like Mob's just kind of just chilling there, just blocking away with his shield. So that wasn't really anything. Yeah, so that happens, and then obviously a Mob fucking takes him out by squashing 2 trees together. So it was really nothing. They end up infiltrating the land and taking out several of the bodyguards. When they go into the main building, when they get to the front, one of the people that they end up taking out, Dimple ends up taking over one of the bodies and ends up explaining to Mob and Hanazawa that he's only able to do it to this person here because one, his like Dimple isn't able to take over people with psychic abilities minds because of their mental fortitude and all that kind of shit. So even if he wanted to take over Mob and or Hanazawa, he wouldn't be able to. And plus, that being said, he's also weakened hell of a lot because of what Mob's done to him when he tore his ass apart in episode 2, which is pretty much like the gist of what fucking happened. They go into the building, and then when they're running inside the building, they're trying to look for Ritsu and the rest of the fucking kids who got taken, which, can I just talk about them quickly? Oh my god, they had it bad. I literally thought that like shit got real for them. When we got to see those twins, the guy with the square head and the guy with a circle head, and they're like their mental ability or their esper abilities, that they can send each other messages, which when first shown to us did seem like a pretty fucking shit ability. But when you actually got to see what happened in this episode, and when we got introduced to another Claw member, Muraki, yeah, so, and he works with Genjutsu abilities, Genjutsu psychic abilities, so he focuses more on like kind of lies and making you see an alternate reality and stuff like that. But we never knew that when he first came onto the scene, because he came onto the scene, he took the square-headed brother and he was like, yo, show me your powers. And then the square-headed brother was like, I don't know, no. And then like he's like, okay, cool, come with me. Takes him to another room. We hear screams, and then Muraki comes back forward and throws the square-headed brother on the floor with a knife in his stomach, and his body's all cut up, which I thought was hella dark. I was like, whoa, how did we get here so quick? 0 to 100 real quick. Episode goes on, and we get to find out that the circle-headed twin brother, he says, you know what, it's cool, my brother's not dead, because he's still sending me messages, and he's still alive. It turns out to be that Muraki actually has the power of Genjutsu, and I was like, oh, thank God for that, because shit got darker real quick. We then also got to see that Ritsu's able to summon a bit more of his power, and at first I was wondering why is Ritsu not using any of his powers in this episode. But remember guys, Dimple was actually the person who's controlling the output of Ritsu's esper abilities. So what is it, Ritsu, god damn it, it's really, really weird. Ritsu, he didn't know whether he could control it as frequent as possible. So we got to see that in this episode, near the end of it, he actually is able to. He manages to take out a couple of the guards, and Ritsu's fairly smart as well, so it's not like he's pretty stupid. He uses like his smarts to be able to figure out how the security guards are going to be thinking. Once again, the security guards are dumb as fuck. So yeah, that because anime. So yeah, so they take them out. So we also got to see when Dimple, Hanazawa, and Mob go further into the infiltrating the Claw building, 7th Division main headquarters kind of thing, we got to see Goyama come up again, and like he told the rest of the 7th Division before he went down to face Mob, he was like, look, I'm going to take this kid out, blah blah blah. The 7th Division leaders like, yo, you can go, but do realize that failure, like losing to the same person again, you will not be forgiven. So like Koyama's like, yeah, it's cool, man, I know his powers, I know his abilities, it's all right. He goes in raging, like fucking powered up, fucking his energy levels all over the fucking charts, over 9,000 or 8,000, whatever fucking thousand you want to think it is. And yeah, like Mob's just like, I don't have time for this. Like he steps forward, flings him about like he's a pinball, It was crazy. I was like, god damn, Mob is not fucking around. Like this episode shows that Mob, he's got his head screwed on, he pretty much gets what's kind of going on, and if not, Hanazawa is going to be the person to be able to help him out. Dimple's got a body as well, so he's able to use maybe some psychic telekinetic abilities as well, or maybe just be able to control the body, or maybe he can even just use that guard to speak to other people, who knows. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. We get to see the team with Mob, Hanazawa, and Dimple. We also got to see Ritsu actually come out of his shell, be a bit more normal, stop being a fucking moody bastard, and he's a lot nicer with the people, with the other fucking useless. Sorry. It's so useless, man. When we first got shown the powers of the people in the like that group that Ritsu went to go visit, the kid with the fire, I can make fire. Literally, the flame is so fucking small. Oh shit, man, they are pretty useless. I don't even know why they got kidnapped. But anyways, yeah, so he's being cool with them now. He's actually able to like speak to them. He's asking for their names and stuff. He's opening up a bit more. He's being a bit more fucking normal. Maybe it's because Dimple is in his mindset. I don't know, who knows. But yeah, so this was a really, really, really good episode of Mob Psycho 100. Are you guys excited for next week's episode? Were you expecting Koyama to be taken down so easily once facing against Mob the second time? Torada, what do you think of his abilities? Do you like the whole esper whip thing? Oh yeah, fucking Hanazawa was able to actually mimic that ability straight after that fight, so that also shows how strong and how smart Hanazawa is. Who would you rather be? Koyama with his like crazy spiral esper punches and shit like that, Torada with the whips, Hanazawa with the telekinesis and his smarts, or Mob because he's Mob and this is Mob Psycho 100. Personally, I'd rather be Mob or Hanazawa because yeah, they're pretty fucking badass. Everyone else is cool, but yeah. Oh yeah, there's Muraki with the Genjutsu, which was fucked, but I mean that's really useful, I guess. But yeah, this is a really good episode of Mob Psycho 100. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this review? Do share the love. Drop some discussions in the comment box down below. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know who your favorite character is. Are you guys excited for next week's episode? What do you guys think of the Claw division? We got to see the leader of Claw. What the fuck? Like, is this going to be a 12 episode thing? Like, because it looks like it's getting pretty climactic real soon, and I'm fucking hyped. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. Remember, Chris is talking. Do like, share, subscribe for more of my weekly reviews and daily uploads. Take care. Peace.